Coming up on CTV News, the region is preparing for another round of snow as some area residents are still digging out. This is just one of the areas in Prince George's County right now that hasn't had their roads treated from the first round of snow, and residents that we spoke with are not happy about it. I'll give you more details on CTV News. Plus,
the Prince George's County Police Chief talks crime stats for 2024. I'm Byron Scott. Will have that story coming up.
And will the social media giant be banned in the U.S.? Those stories and more. CTV News starts now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for January 10th. I'm Mariah Jalad. Thanks for joining us. Well, we're only a few days out from the first snow of the year, and now we can expect more snow this weekend. Residents throughout the county, though, are outraged about the county's lack of snow removal efforts. Our Michaela Newton reports.
We are expecting even more snow this weekend, and residents that we spoke to in Temple Hills say that they haven't even gotten their roads treated from the first round of snow. They tell me that they're not happy about it.
This is my first time day coming out, so the other days I was too scared because this is like ice. I don't know if it's PG County, but I know the other counties, they're not complaining.
The region saw about 6 to 8 inches of snow earlier this week. And this weekend forecast suggests we could see up to 3 inches in some areas. But the snow event didn't come without a few bumps in the road.
Yeah, it did concern me when I came out and I noticed that these roads weren't really done.
Prince George's County residents took to social media about their disappointment with the unplowed roads in the county. Today, the school system even said they experienced bus transportation delays due to a higher number of transportation staff calling out of work. Students returned back to school on a 2-hour delay schedule after being out of school for 4 days. In a press conference, acting Prince George's County Executive Tara Jackson addressed residents' concerns as well as snow removal efforts.
The operation did not meet my expectations, and I don't think it met the expectations of the Department of Public Works and Transportation, but we're here and we're going to get it right.
Officials blamed the snow removal efforts, or lack thereof, on the usage of a new salt mixture and says all crews have been on deck.
If you have really cold temperatures, as we had a band of really cold temperatures, not only air temperatures cold, but the pavement being really cold, it becomes less active. It's not that it doesn't work, but it's not as active. So that's why we looked at an alternative compound to use.
Meanwhile, Pablo Ariano, who lives right up the hill from this location, says he hasn't been able to leave his home since earlier this week.
You know, obviously I have a part-time in the afternoon, so I've been unable to go to my part-time right now because it's impossible to leave the house right now. It's fine to do a little public stunt and everything, but we need to see a response from the public stunt.
Now, residents who haven't had their roads treated can call 311. Additionally, I spoke with the Department of Public Works and Transportation, who says that all crews will be out this weekend ahead of the snow to make sure that everyone is safe. Reporting in Temple Hills, Maryland, I'm Michaela Newton for CTV News.
Thank you, Michaela. And again, residents can contact 311 if their roads have not been plowed. And the Prince George's County Police Department released its crime report for 2024. And as Byron Scott reports, while progress was made over the last year, much more work needs to be done.
We are a victim-centric police department.
There are crime statistics.
Property crime, down 11%.
And there is the community's perception of crime. When the police chief says that major crimes are down, do you disbelieve him?
Yes.
That's what Prince George's County Police Chief Malik Aziz tried to address today as he released the department's 2024 crime statistics. Here are some of the numbers. Total crime down 9%. Violent crime down 2%. Homicides down 5%. Robbery down 13%.
Our gun crimes unit, our WAVE unit and carjacking and addiction unit, the special crimes unit, and our homicide unit are among the best, if not the very best, of highly trained units in the nation.
One of the biggest decreases in Prince George's, carjackings, down 33%. There were 167 fewer victims in 2024 as compared to the previous year.
It escalated in 21 and 22, and we saw it go up, and then we turn a corner to drive those carjackings down now, and that took a lot of work.
That said, juvenile carjacking arrests in 2024 were 147, the same as 2023. The number of stolen vehicles was down 24%. Police point to workshops held at Prince George's aimed at making Hyundai and Kias less vulnerable to thefts as part of the reason.
This could be driven down even further if we have 300 plus stolen vehicles that you left your key in, you left your car running.
On the downside, some crimes were up. Domestic violence incidents without a weapon up 5%, and assaults without a weapon up 18%. That includes statistics regarding school fights. Shoplifting and retail thefts up 14%. And that brings us back to perceptions. Do you feel safe?
I do.
I asked this resident if she thought crime was out of control.
On a scale of what?
Scale of 1 to 10.
I would say 7.
Of course, I would say, along with my executive team, that there's more that we can do. There's more that we can do.
Byron Scott, CTV News.
And those county numbers do not include the stats for individual municipalities. Well, the first week of Maryland's 2025 General Assembly session has come to a close, but the work has only just begun. With a $2.7 billion budget gap to settle, legislators will be debating what to cut and what to keep. Senate President Bill Ferguson said today it's a bigger hurdle than he thought.
I will say, coming into session, I don't think any of us expected $3 billion in structural projected overages. And so when I think about a high bar, I felt very confident that we were when we left session in April, I felt confident that we would be able to sufficiently handle a number of the gaps that existed with rainy day funds and with cash balances and tightening the belt and doing sort of typical budget maneuvers that allow us to stay within margins. This deficit is significantly larger than I expected it to be.
Even while dealing with that deficit, legislators still have agendas they want to get through before the end of the session, and hundreds of bills have already been introduced. But on Thursday, the Senate decided to cap that number at 20 bills per senator as a way to make sure lawmakers are introducing only their most important bills and not wasting precious time over the next 90 days.
The issues that we are facing are seemingly more and more complex each year, and in order for us to do our best work, having opportunities to limit our the extent of the number of bills allows us to focus in and prioritize a lot better.
Even with that limit, expect hot debate over issues like beer and wine sales at grocery stores, which Governor Wes Moore gave support for earlier, but this week backtracked, saying it wouldn't be an administration priority. That could be because of pushback from lawmakers and residents alike. Another bill that's making a reappearance is an effort by Senator Walt Stryker to cover the cost of prison inmates' cell phone calls. But the bill has an $8 million price tag, meaning the call may once again go unanswered this session. And in the next week of session, Governor Moore will present his budget proposal. CTV will be bringing you all those details. And Marylanders are seeing the value of their homes go up by as much as 35%, which puts even more strain on homeowners' budgets. With the reassessments, property tax bills are also on the rise. This is coming at the same time residents are worried taxes will increase elsewhere as lawmakers are trying to settle that nearly $3 billion budget deficit. Tax officials are trying to bring awareness to the multiple tax credits homeowners may be eligible for that can help ease the financial burden. And Prince George's County Public Schools is preparing to feel the hurt from the state's budget cuts. Superintendent Millard House has told the school board to prepare for impact. They'll be looking for nearly $40 million to make up for decreases in funding at the same time that school operating costs have been on the rise. School enrollment is still lower than it was before the pandemic, and there's a growing number of students who need English as a second language services. That, paired with the high cost of new technology used by schools, spells out major financial challenges. And 9 months after the cargo ship Dolly lost power and crashed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, a timeline for bridge reconstruction has now been established. Pre-construction efforts will begin this month with demolition to follow later this year. The new bridge is expected to open in the fall of 2028, with President Joe Biden mandating the cost will be covered by the federal government. Part of that funding will come from insurance payouts and litigation against the owners of the dolly. The project will cost an estimated $1.9 billion. And calling all District 4 residents, acting Prince George's County Executive Tara Jackson is looking for someone to fill the district's vacant Board of Education seat. Residents who would like to serve children and families are encouraged to apply. Former school board member Shayla Adams Stafford resigned from the position back in December 2024 as she campaigns for the District 5 County Council seat. A resume and letter of interest should be submitted by Thursday, January 23rd to PGC Board's vacancy at co.pg.md.us. And you're watching CTV News. I'm Mariah Jalad. Still to come, how hot was 2024? NASA and NOAA reveal their annual climate report. What do the new temperatures say about our planet's future? We'll have the details after the break.
Youth Clubs provides professional and technical assistance to all our affiliate clubs all around the world. We already have 44 countries that are behind us providing safe spaces for kids, but there are 160 other countries we'd like to reach out to. Yeah. Right, Brad? Exactly. But we need the resources now to do that. Absolutely, and we're a new organization. Yeah, the World Youth Clubs, it's made up of a lot of hands-on, deeply involved volunteers, but hey, we need you to help fund the World Youth Clubs and make their dream come true. Get in a circle, get in a circle, get in a circle, get in a circle.
Social media platform TikTok could be banned in the United States if the owner group does not sell by January 19th. Its fate now lies with the United States Supreme Court. CTV's Bryce Parker is in the studio with the latest. What's going on, Bryce?
That's right, Mariah. So the United States Supreme Court heard oral arguments today that will decide the fate of TikTok in the United States. President-elect Donald Trump first threatened to ban the app during his first administration, citing concerns that TikTok's China-based ownership group could pose a threat to national security if influenced by their government to do so. Since then, the ban has drawn widespread bipartisan support upon Capitol Hill passing with ease, which leads us to today, where arguments were heard from lawyers and the users of the social media app who believe the ban impedes on the First Amendment's right to free speech. And their stance has also drawn a wide range of support from ideological groups who span across the political spectrum, including President-elect Donald Trump. Yes, you heard that correctly. He has now flipped his stance on the app's future, believing that he can provide a political solution once he is officially sworn into office on January 20th. The Supreme Court can either uphold the ban, block the ban, or temporarily block the ban, giving them time to reach a permanent decision at a later date. The 9 justices will meet again on Monday at 10 a.m. So, Mariah, are you going to be one of those 170 million Americans impacted by TikTok possibly going away?
I mean, I'm definitely going to miss it. It's something for entertainment, information. I mean, what's going to happen to all these people that have kind of built up a career on the app?
Right. So TikTok has kind of been a great place for people who, they're trying to get their business started. They're trying to get music out. They're trying to just get known and build up their platform. TikTok going away, hopefully something else will come in its place if on the 19th TikTok does go away. But you're going to see people who are, kind of feeding their families off the app kind of have to figure out how to pivot. So it's going to be, something to watch.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a gap in that social media market that's going to get filled by something eventually.
Exactly.
All right.
We'll see what it is.
Thank you, Bryce. And moving on, if you're seeing more masks in public again, it could be because COVID-19 rates are on the rise in Maryland. The surge came later in the cold weather season than health experts would have expected. It could be caused by family gatherings during the holidays. As of last week, Maryland has been classified as having high COVID levels, while neighboring Virginia and Pennsylvania have been classified as having very high levels. And big news in the rental market, the Justice Department is taking on 6 major landlords. A new lawsuit claims companies like Greystar, Camden, and Willow Bridge used pricing software to inflate rents and avoid competition. Willow Bridge runs apartments in Laurel, Annapolis, Greenbelt, and Bethesda. The DOJ says these landlords worked with software giant RealPage to coordinate prices, block free market competition, and even end rent concessions like fee waivers. Federal prosecutors call this a threat to the free market and renters' wallets. And one company, Cortland Management, has already agreed to settle. Well, with fewer people working from home and finally heading back to the office, prepare to pack your patience on the road. A recent study shows commuters in the D.C. metro area are losing nearly 60 hours a week in traffic congestion post-COVID. Studies show 14% fewer employees worked from home last year, with trips to downtown D.C. increasing by 6% and mass transit also seeing an increase in riders. The DMV ranked 9th in the nation for congestion, with New York topping the list. However, the average speed while driving in downtown D.C. is the lowest in the country. And Prince George's County homicide detectives are working to identify any suspects or a motive that led up to the fatal shooting of a rideshare driver on New Year's Eve. On January 1st, 2025, officers responded to a reported shooting in the 3300 block of Bladensburg Road. That's where they found the victim, 36-year-old Oluwatosin Adetulla, suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital for treatment but died from injuries on January 7th. The investigation shows that Adetulla was working as a rideshare driver at the time of the shooting. Anyone with any information is asked to call Crime Solvers at 1-866-411-TIPS. And Americans across much of the country rang in the new year with lots of snow. And as we head into 2025, NASA and NOAA are sharing some somber news about our planet. Today, the agencies released their annual global temperature report, confirming 2024 was the warmest year on record. Global temperatures were 2.3 degrees above 20th century averages, driven by greenhouse gas emissions and intensified by events like El Nino.
We're seeing increases in temperature. So the last 10 years were the collectively the warmest years on record. And this increasing trend towards warmer years is driven by increases in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. In the mid-Atlantic, what we're seeing, climate change and changes in temperature are about more than just temperature change. So as we're seeing a warmer planet, we're also seeing changes in things like the water cycle. So we see more heavy precipitation events, and in some parts of the world, more drought. In the mid-Atlantic, also we see sea level rise. So with higher seas, we're seeing more coastal flooding and storm surge that can impact communities living along the coast.
And scientists warn these warming trends aren't slowing down, and they're urging action to combat climate change in the year ahead. And still to come on CTV News, we take a look at what's happening this weekend around the DMV. Stay tuned.
For the curiosity that compels us to look closer, dig deeper, reach further. For the passion to explore, to see, to know. That drives us to nurture connections, deepen empathy, and expand horizons. For the joy of discovery right now, and all the endless potential of what comes next. This is what we strive for.
Awesome.
Since 1888, the National Geographic Society has championed generations of explorers to ask questions, share stories, and open minds.
Wow.
And today, our mission is more urgent, dynamic, and vital than ever. Because in our hearts, we believe protecting the vibrancy of our world isn't just possible, it's essential. And we believe there's always another wonder for us to go and find. Will you join us? National Geographic Society. Wonder awaits.
Well, if you're not afraid to brave the snow and don't have any plans this weekend, let's check in with Brittany Aaliyah and find out what's the move around the inner loop.
So let's kick it off with tonight's sizzling hot event. Now, this is for the grown and sexy out there. The Sigma Founders Day celebration is going down tonight at the fabulous gathering spot in DC starting at 7 p.m. It's hosted by the Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and because it's an all-black party, I need you all to dust off your designer threads and get ready to shine tonight. And look, it's not just a night out. It's a celebration of brotherhood, culture, and just a whole lot of fun with the National Capital Region chapters. So grab your friends, go out, make those connections, and live it up tonight because you deserve it. Okay, but wait, the excitement doesn't stop there. This Saturday, the Winter Takeover is back at MGM National Harbor, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. From 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., it's all black everything. But let me just ask you, do you see a pattern with this all black everything? Because I do, and I'm here for it all. It's giving very sexy, very demure, and we love it. And speaking of partying, I know it can be a little tough with dry January going on, but don't worry. I have a move for all of you non-alcoholic drinkers out there too. Have you heard of Mindful Drinking Fest? Well, if you haven't, it's the largest zero-proof wellness event in the United States, and it's happening this weekend, starting from the 10th through the 12th at Union Market, DC. Now, like I said, this is perfect for dry January participants because you get to sample over 120 non-alcoholic beverages, attend mindful living seminars, and enjoy karaoke night. Plus, DMC from Rum DMC will be on Soberness Podcast Live with top chefs and bartenders discussing healthier relationships with alcohol. So don't miss out on this because there's something for everyone there. Let's just catch up on the latest flicks that's smashing the box office right now. We have Mufasa, Sonic 3, Wicked, and Moana 2. All of these movies are currently in theaters and doing major numbers. And I can personally say I've enjoyed each and every one of them. They're really great. So grab your kids and make it a movie day. Easy, right? And last, but certainly not least, if you're deciding to escape the cold weather and stay warm indoors on Sunday, you know it wouldn't be me if I didn't mention one of the biggest games that our area has ever seen. You know what I'm talking about. That's right. We made it to the playoffs, baby, and the Commanders and Buccaneers showdown starts at 8 p.m. on Sunday. If you want to witness greatness, just tune in. That's all I really have to say about that. So there you have it, folks. That's all the moves for this weekend. Stay warm out there, and I'll see you all next week for more moves and exclusive events in and around the DMV area on What's the Move. Have a great weekend, everyone. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Brittany. And for all you hand dancers, this Saturday, Lorraine and the Fabulous Hand Dancers are having a DJ recognition party. Well, hand dancing is a twist on swing dancing and originated in Washington, D.C. during the Motown era. This event is honoring the many disc jockeys who provide music at Anacostia Park for seniors.
There are 15 DJs that volunteer their time and services to play for the past 4 years at Anacostia Park. We have senior dancing once a week. It used to be twice a week. And we have DJs that come as far as Manassas, Virginia. DJ T-Play is one of them. And it's just a wonderful event. It's a blessing to the seniors in the community to have a venue to come, get free food, to dance, listen to the music while the DJs are playing.
Keeps them physically fit, you know, and that's the biggest thing right there. And us as DJs, we enjoy seeing them do that because they always say, well, we'll meet you on the wood. That means the hand dancers are on the wood doing their own thing.
This event takes place at the Brentwood Volunteer Fire Department from 1 until 5 in the evening. For more information, call 301-821-3369. And Simon Bugs is here with a preview of our Friday sports page. I hear we're talking some high school basketball.
Not only that, Mariah, we also have volleyball news as well as NFL news in store for today. Stay right there, sports fans. We'll be right back. See you then.
You've worked hard. Long days. Year after year. Decade after decade. You've seen a lot of things. enjoyed the good times, and weathered the tough times. You've earned a life that you can call your own, alongside the people you love the most. Retirement worries shouldn't get in the way. But many Americans like you are finding that retiring on a fixed income is harder than they expected. Fortunately, there are thousands of benefits programs that can help. Visit benefitscheckup.org to see if you're among the millions of people eligible for thousands of dollars in benefits to help you age well, so you can focus on what's really important. Benefits Checkup. You've earned this.
All right, everybody, get excited because it's finally time for your Friday sports page. We begin with some high school hoops news as the Bowie High School boys basketball team has had a good start to the 2025 season. The Bulldogs are currently 7-1 and are in second place in their region with a record of 3-0 in region play. Behind Bowie's success this year has been leadership. I caught up with head coach Tremaine Price, and he told me two players that have been playing a big role to make sure that the Bulldogs play their best brand of basketball.
We do have returning Kamali Burns at point guard and Tremaine Rose at shooting guard, two guys that were able to be all league last year. So, we depend on those guys a lot to lead us in the right direction.
Burns, Rose, and the rest of the team will take the court next versus Duval on January 14th. Meanwhile, the Terps volleyball team will welcome two new players into the fold next fall as outside hitter Olivia Rye and opposite hitter Ajak Mulawau will be suiting up for head coach Adam Hughes. Rye, a transfer from Arkansas, started in all but four games for the Razorbacks this past season. She finished third on the team in kills with 221 and aces with 13. Rye adds some much-needed depth to Maryland, as last season, Maryland finished with just one healthy player from the outside hitter position. Mulawau also spent her 2 seasons at Commonwealth University of Honolulu before transferring to Tennessee last season. And with the Volunteers, Mulawau had 15 kills, 3 digs, and 2 blocks. It's going to be fun seeing what these two do in a Terps uniform. Now, the Washington Commanders have had a ton of success this year. And while rookie QB Jaden Daniels has been getting a lot of praise for the team's unexpected turnaround, there's another rookie in cornerback Mike Sainristil that has been making plays for the Burgundy and Gold as well in 2024. And his great play was recognized as the Michigan product was named the final Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Week. This comes after Mikey's Week 18 performance against the Dallas Cowboys. And if you watched that game, this should be no surprise to you. In the matchup, Mikey had 10 tackles, 7 of which were solo, and 3 passes defended on the team's way to winning the game 23-19. Good work, Mike. Hopefully you can ball out again against the Bucs on Sunday. The two teams will take the field for the wild card round of the playoffs at 8 o'clock. And be sure to tune in tomorrow, Ravens fans, as Lamar Jackson and company will take the field versus the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow in Wild Card Weekend. Kickoff is at 8 o'clock. And that wraps up today's sports page.
All right, thank you, Simon.
No problem.
Now let's take a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, an 80% snow chance after 10 p.m. with a low of 25. Saturday, snow in the morning before turning sunny in the afternoon. Temps will reach 35 during the day and fall to 22 at night. Sunday, mostly sunny with a high of 36 and low of 18. Monday, the sun and cold continues with a high of 38 and a low of 21. And that wraps up CTV News for now. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Good night, everyone.